Hey y'all, Becca here. Welcome back to my Conjure. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and being here. I appreciate you. If you are a new subscriber, you just happen to, trip and fall upon this video, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back, boo. Thank you for being here. This is my spiritual channel, I guess you can call it. This is where all of my spiritual content is going to be. So if you are interested in hoodoo, if you are interested in tarot, this is the hub for you. Okay, so today's video is going to be a continuation video of a video that I did child months ago on my main channel. And it was basically a video where I was talking about my Saturn return. And I decided to break that video up into a couple of different parts. And this is, I want to say, like the third part, because I want to say the second part was about the things that I was made to address during my Saturn return. Okay, if you don't know what a Saturn return is, I'm not going to get too much into it into this video for the sake of time, but basically a Saturn return is what happens when Saturn returns to the exact spot that it was at the time of your birth. Now let me first say, I am not an astrologer. I am a novice when it comes to astrology. I know about my chart, and I can link with you with plenty of people who are well versed in astrology, more so than I am, if you need and if you have any questions. But this is just my story and I'm staying in my lane, okay? But I came out of my Saturn return at the end of last year. Or was it the year before? It was the year before, I'm sorry, the end of 2020. And baby, my Saturn return was a ride. Like I said, you can go back, and I'm eventually going to transfer those videos over here. But you can go back to my main channel, which I will link in the description box for you to check out and check those videos out. But baby, my Saturn return was a ride. Okay. My Saturn is in Capricorn in the 8th house. Okay, so it was a ride. But what I want to talk specifically about today is how my Saturn return changed my conjure. Okay, and a lot of people will talk about their Saturn or will talk about Saturn returns, but not really talk about their journey. And that is what I really want to focus on as it pertains to Saturn returns. Here is my journey, the things that I went through. So if you are looking for, help and assistance in navigating your Saturn return, one of the first things that I did when I realized that I was about to go through my return is I got a Saturn return chart reading. I can again link you to some people that do those. I know I got mine from Shantae Out Loud. I'm not sure if she is still doing those, but I will double check. And it was very, very helpful, as well as just having astrology friend or astrologer friends. Okay, like that helped me like no other. But as it pertains to how my Saturn return changed my conjure, a lot of people talk about Saturn returns and tell you how your Saturn return will grow you, right? It'll make you grow up. It'll make you really face yourself, face the things that need to change. And a lot of people will tell you that there's a reason that a lot of people feel as though you should not be considered an adult until age 21. I'm not age 21, until like right at your 30s. I'm sorry. And I could definitely now see where that is true. There's a lot of people who say also that they don't suggest like doing any big time like public spiritual work until you reach your Saturn return. And I used to so disagree with that, because I used to be like, yo, how you want to tell somebody? Okay. But no, like I understand now why people say that. I really want this camera to stop shaking. Hold on. Okay. I understand why they tell people things like that now, right? Because again, you really truly ain't an adult until after you go through your Saturn return, baby. Let me tell you, I don't care how much you think you got it together. I don't care how much you think you are an adult. Child, your 30s are different, okay? And so one of the ways that one of the things that I noticed during my Saturn return is it changed the way that I saw myself, and that in turn changed the way that I saw my conjure. For those of you again who are new to the channel, I am a conjure woman. I am a hoodoo practitioner, and looking at the ways that I used to handle or navigate my journey in hoodoo then versus how I do now is completely different. And I feel like the reason it is so completely different is because, like I said, my Saturn return really made me look at myself. And it made me look at the ways that I was holding myself back. It made me look at the ways I was getting in my own way. And it made me like up the faith level in myself, right? Because when you think about hoodoo, like we always say that, yeah, our ancestors are our first line of defense, and that is absolutely right. But you are also a line of defense for yourself, right? And if you're not in tune with yourself, and if you're not in tune with who you are as a person, as a practitioner, as a reader, as anything, like your practices aren't going to be full throttle the way that you may want them to be until you come into that understanding. Child, I'm gonna back up from this because I'm sick of the table shaking. But so one of the things that I struggled with the most, I would have to say, was believing in myself. And it was honestly for me from years of just constantly being beat down, constantly being talked down to, constantly having people curse smash my dreams at any point. Anytime I was trying to do anything, even when it came to spiritual practices, a lot of times I went into spaces, or I was a part of spaces where like I didn't feel like I was being heard. I didn't feel like I was being um, really welcomed. I felt shunned for a lot of like the first couple of years of me practicing hoodoo. And once I went through my Saturn return, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, like, are you going to bet on yourself? Or are you just going to keep allowing people to tell you your worth? Are you going to get your validation and your worth from other people? Or are you going to bet on yourself? And I promise you, the moment that I chose to really hunker down and to really be like, no, like, you know who you are, you know what you've been through, you know what your practice is, and you know what your mission on this earth is, game changer. Okay, game changer. Like, can't nobody tell Mecca, and this ain't even coming from no like cocky type of disposition, but like, can't nobody tell Mecca about Mecca but Mecca, okay? And so that's one of the things that I'm thankful for. And the other interesting aspect of it is once I started to stand up for myself, once I started to gain autonomy and gain authority over myself in my practice, I noticed how my ancestors started to show up for me differently. It was almost one of them energies of like, girl, we've been waiting. Like, where have you been? About time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt things start to shift so much easier, and I felt things start to just level out. And it was a beautiful feeling to like finally get to a point in life where you can't be defined by anybody else's practice. And I tell y'all that all the time, right? I tell y'all all the time that what somebody else's practice looks like is not going to look like your practice, is not going to look like their practice, is not going to look like the other person's practice. Your practice, because hoodoo is such a lineage based practice, hoodoo looks totally different depending on who you're talking to, right? Like, we have our base, but you know what I'm saying, it's lineage, it's how it was passed down through your lineage. And like a Chesapeake hoodoo is gonna be different from a Delta hoodoo, is gonna be different from another hoodoo, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you have to find your place in your practice. And I feel like my Saturn return really, 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 really helped me do that. And I'm so thankful, even though I went through a lot of difficult moments in my Saturn return because I'm hard headed. We can be honest about that. Mecca's hard headed. Okay. um, but even with me being hard headed and even with me not listening, I still value the things that came out of that because of that. And so don't try to skip the steps. Don't try to um, fast forward through your lessons, because that's where all the gems lie. That's where all of the knowledge and the wisdom lies. Also, again, I think I said this in the first Saturn return video I made. The best advice, because I get this question a lot, the best advice I can give you transversing through your Saturn return is to, what's the word? lean into it, right? Don't try to resist it. Don't try to resist the lessons that you are being, or that spirit is trying to teach you. If you are, if you go with the flow easier, and I'm sorry y'all if y'all hear the traffic outside, like I live in the middle of the city and the city is in full swing right now. But if you are more flexible and you are able to flow versus resist, it'll make your Saturn return 10 times easier, and it will honestly level up your conjure. It will make you look at hoodoo, it will make you look at conjure, and it will make you look at your root work totally different, and you will appreciate it so much more, right? So that is the video for today. I'm not going to hold y'all too long because I feel like I've been talking forever. But this is going to be the first installment of the Saturn return videos on this channel. I might redo the 2 videos that I posted on my personal channel, but until then, I'm going to leave them here so you guys can have that as a reference. Leave me some comments. Let me know, are you in your Saturn return? And baby, if you in your Saturn return Aquarius, I am so sorry. Okay. But if you're in your Saturn return, leave me some comments. Let me know. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let's talk. Okay. Let's converse. Let's get some context going. All right. That's what community is. So until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Flow. Okay. Flow. Be great, get bread, stay all the way live. And with everything, be intentional. Until next time, peace.